Hello and welcome back to Mars Horizon, where we are leading Japan in the space race. In the last episode we completed the milestone orbital EVA. If you haven't seen that episode or previous episodes, please find a link to the playlist in the description below. In this episode we'll be focusing on the next milestone for Mars, which will be Mars orbit. So let's continue the game. Okay, so as I was saying before, we did achieve the orbital EVA mission in the last episode. We weren't first to the mark, the Chinese did beat us, but we were very close behind them, so we can still a good successful mission for the Japanese Space Agency. And like I say, we're doing an Earth topography mission, which is a purely lucrative one, so we're going to get a lot of funds for that one to keep the funds high to be able to ensure that we can have the funds available to build the payloads and the rockets available for the missions we are planning to do in the future. We are 3 months away from completing the Mars orbit payload, and we have a mission slot available. So let's see what we can do in the meantime to fill that slot. So we have a life support test, which is science and support. We have a control systems check for support and science. And looking at both of them, they're exactly the same. There's just going to be a difference in the payload. As this is experimental payload, we get additional science, but reduced payload reliability. And this one is experimental fuel, so we gain additional science, but launch reliability is lowered. So it's basically the only difference is we've got less reliability in the launch or the payload. Over on the moon, we have a lunar radiation one, which is again just a science mission. It's challenging, and it's less science and less reward, I believe. So yeah, so we're going to do. I think we're going to do the control systems check. Only because the payload reliability, we can kind of get around it and still make sure we can achieve the mission and gain the additional request reward points. So we'll get that payload selected, and looking at the different types of payloads, the best one is the standard one. So we'll get that built, and 3 months time we can start getting the rocket for that one built. So recapping on the research, we are about a month or two away from getting the Apollo one. The Apollo payload to go and look at the crewed moon landing mission. So that's the research left to do to actually unlock the mission. Suggested parts, we do have some suggested parts here. So we do need to start looking at getting the upper stage and the booster stage of the, looks like just the Saturn set. So having a quick look at it, we need, so the Saturn 2 is 50k, 45k, and the reliability. So this one does look pretty good, this one, but this is purely max distances the moon. Well, the ones up here are interplanetary ones, so not sure what that bit is about, but we'll figure out that later. So one's 5 months, the other's 6 months, one's 80% and the other one's 65. So I'm tempted to go for the Saturn 2, but the IVB is cheaper and has a lower mass as well. Okay, so we'll decide that later, and same with the Saturn 5 and the IB. Probably end up going for the Saturn 5 purely because it's got a good large capacity, which will help us going forward, and the reliability is higher. The fund, it will cost a bit more money to make, from 1.8k to 2000k basically, so there's a big difference there. But before that happens, we have only got 1 out of 4 of the previous ones to be able to progress further down here. So with that in mind, we will have to start looking at researching these next. Probably get some supplementary boosters to enable additional thrust, and then we've got between, probably go for the Titan booster. I would go for the Titan 2 upper stage, but then that's only Earth orbit, and then the other two are interplanetary. So looking at these two, I would probably go for the Agena, purely because it's got additional launch reliability and the additional capacity as well. Okay, so that's the research for the next couple of turns, or next couple of months, once we get the Apollo done. Like I say, we'll come back to doing the Venus impactor and the Mercury orbit and the Venus orbit once we've got this lot sorted out, just so, because if not, we're going to be, I think we're going to start struggling to compete with the other main 4 agencies. Because I say, it would have been nice to get all ones in Earth, in the Earth section, but like I say, with all other 4 of the research agencies doing their own research and their own missions, it's going to be hard for us to try and achieve everything. So we're going to have to start fine-tuning the way we plan our missions going forward. Okay, I think that's everything caught up now, so let's move on. Okay, so the extra vehicle photography. Photographs taken by your astronaut Oshi Yori Yuk during a recent EVA have featured on the front pages of several newspapers. The spacewalks seem to have captured the public's imagination, so we gained additional support, which is always good because that will help us progress to the next tier to gain additional funding from income. So what's this over here? So on Mars, I believe that may mean that the Soviet Union has now finished that. Oh, we've got a quest mission actually. Wow, that's some nice science. So the atmospheric sensors, a Martian probe equipped with a broad array of atmospheric sensors to take measurements at multiple altitudes during its descent. Okay, that would have been nice to have done if we knew that was going forward. We could have planned it. But unfortunately, we have now used all our active missions, so we may look at doing that next. It is a shame, but okay, we don't know what's coming up in the game, so we will just have to play the game as we see it unfold. Okay, so the Apollo research is now complete. So we could go again onto the commercial commercial satellite, which would be very good to start getting the comsat done. But we do need to start progressing with the additional research down here to get the additional boosters and upper stage. Good thing about this, once we get them, it will help us going forward for the other missions that we will have to do in the future. So we have the supplementary 2X SRBS. So it's 2 solid fuel rocket boosters designed to be attached to a launch vehicle to provide additional thrust. Okay, not sure how that's going to play with going forward, but it's nice to have the option available. And as we do need to get additional free research in that section before we can progress, that's why I'm doing it as well. Okay, nothing else to do, we'll move on. Okay, that was quick, so then that research is now complete. And we have the Mars orbit payload done. Okay, so we have minus 50% booster build time, but an additional 50% booster build cost. Not too bad. And we have the control systems check done, and we have minus 50% build cost for level 0 vehicle parts. Okay, so we're going to do the Mars orbit payload, the vehicle first, just to ensure we actually have the funding available for it. We should be able to reuse the Karashar, which has very good reliability and it's a reasonable price. Okay, so we will. I don't see the need to get additional contractors to do this because we do want to get it. The astronautica is good. It reduces the cost, but it does increase it by a month. Where I just want to get it done in house, and we will be happy with the build. So let's get that built for 5 months' time. So active missions, we'll select a new rocket for. Should be able to reuse the Autoscar. So it's relatively cheap, good launch reliability, and it will achieve what we need to do. Okay, the payload is not the best, but as the launch reliability is okay and should be pretty good, we can do additional research to increase additional training to increase the payload reliability. Okay, so we'll confirm that build and go. So yeah, that's taken our funding right down to 0, so we literally just had enough of that. But hopefully, if we go back to the active missions, 2 months time and that rocket will be complete, and then these two are done in 5 and 7. Okay, yeah, so we do the Earth topography to come in to give us our additional, 2,000 there. Okay, so that research is complete, so let's go straight and get the booster for the Titan II. Okay, so this is a highly volatile liquid fuel rocket capable of delivering large payloads into Earth orbit and beyond. Brilliant. Okay, so we could go for the Titan, make them match and make it a Titan complete booster and upper stage, but the fact that it's only Earth orbit isn't going to do as much good. So we're definitely going to get the Aegina next, I believe. Okay, let's just have a quick look at the other agencies. Okay, so that doesn't look like they're doing much. They've got an upcoming multi-crew orbit. Soviets are doing the Mercury orbit. ESA is doing the Mars flyby. And they're doing the artificial satellite, which is the Chinese. Okay. Yep, overview. So it looks like we're getting quite a good relationship with ESA. The Chinese aren't happy at all with us, but nothing we can do too much about that. Let's just double check Mars again. Yep, so let's just talk about this quest mission. Let's get that cleared off. And another. Yep. Okay, let's just talk about the crewed moon landing. So we're now ready to start planning that if we wanted to, when we have additional slots. But we do want to get these suggested parts to be able to do the mission. Okay, move on. So Titan II is researched. Okay, so these are going through pretty quickly, so we've got a lot of good research coming through. So the Aegina is a versatile upper stage designed to deliver payloads into Earth orbit and to the inner planets. So that's the reason why I'm getting that one over the Titan II, purely because this is just Earth orbit. Okay, it's a little bit cheaper, but nothing dramatic. I would get the upper stage for the Centaur C, but I just don't think the capacity is the best, and the reliability is not good either. Okay, so that's the plan, is to get that research, and then we'll move down here and we'll select one of the Saturn boosters and upper stages to then start looking at planning the moon landing. Okay, we'll move on. So offer help to rival. Following your successful Mars flyby mission, your advisors have suggested publicly offering to share your payload technology with China, in return for China making a similar offer in the past. I was going to say, because they did offer us this in the past before China has. So China would gain science if they accept, though your advisors predict that the media will reveal in the story. I personally don't think we don't need to offer the research, as much as it's been nice to be offered in the past. I just feel that they're pushing quite ahead of the hour with the research, so we don't want to help them storm ahead of us. So let's not offer it. Hopefully that doesn't incur additional what's it called? Don't want to decrease the relationship with them, because if they don't know about the offer, they can't decrease their relationship, I suppose. So okay, the Earth topography is now ready to go. We have minus 50% launch reliability penalty for suboptimal launch windows, and increased frequency of suboptimal launch windows available. Okay, not the best, but let's go to launch preparation. So I think we need to do the payload. So we've got 89% on launch reliability and 65% on the payload reliability. So we'll do that, but let's just see what we have available. I think that's the best option we've got. So we'll select for November launch, confirm, and go. We need that to be successful because we need the money. We are very, very low on money at the minute. Okay, we've now unlocked them in the next section here. So having a quick glance again. Yep, so this is 11 months build time and compared to a 9, but the payload, the launch reliability is better and the capacity is better. So I'm going to go for the Saturn V. Just need to confirm. Yes, we're going to have to get a large launch pad, so we will have to come down here, get a vehicle assembly building, and then go up to the large launch pad. The problem with that as well is it's going to cost us 1,250,000 to build, and we are looking quite low on funding at the minute. So yeah, we'll have to see how that goes. We got another mission over here. We have. So a subsurface penetrator. Okay. So now we're getting quite good missions over here. Again, all science, which is still very good, but we do need to get some more paid missions, which we haven't got at the minute. So, okay, moving forward. Okay, so the Saturn V's research done. We're back into vehicles and need to make a decision on this one. Obviously, cost is a big part of this, but at the same point, there's no point getting something that's not going to be good for future use as well. Again, we still need to unlock them all to be able to get the additional contractors, but as I'm not using that much, it's probably not essential. But I'm looking at this one saying the mass is 500,000, 500,000 K compared to 120K. Interesting. I am tempted to go for the Saturn IVB, but then the Saturn II does look probably the better one out of the two. Both only have distance of the moon anyway, so it's not as if it's going to make much of a difference for the mission. So let's get the Saturn IVB. Again, we'll probably have to research the rest of them at a later point anyway, but I think that'll do for the minute. So we'll get that one researched, which probably should be done next month. It will, because we've got 2K in the bag. We then need to go down here to get the vehicle assembly building to unlock the large launch pad. Because if I go back to the vehicles, it does state in the top corner there, the launch pad required is large. So that's fine. So move on to do the launch mission. Okay, yeah, so that research is done, and we should be on launch day for the Earth topography. Okay, so payload and launch reliability do look pretty good. Oh, it's not good. I don't like it when it's raining. So it's terrible at 17. We only have 7% critical, so I'm gonna let's just continue. Fingers crossed. Need the money. Okay. Well, it hasn't exploded, which is a good sign. So, how well did it do? Okay, 51% is a good launch. So, secure launch is what we needed. Yep, we've maxed out these anyway, so there's no additional bonuses by using these ones, but it just means they're very reliable. Okay, so the Earth topography. Let's just get this done. Okay, so to achieve the mission, we need 2 comms, 5 data, and 2 navigation. And to complete the bonus, we need 4 comms, 10 data, and 4 navigation. Okay, I'll see what I can do, and I'll get back to you in a second. Okay, that's gone pretty well. We're on the last turn. I say we've got the comms, we're too short for the data, and we've got the navigation to get the 4. So we're just going to get some energy, use some power to get 3 comms. Sorry, 3 data, and then just recharge twice to ensure we can get the mission done. So we'll confirm the details. Okay, so it failed. Just skip through that bit. Okay, if we then resist it, and another successful achievement done for the Japanese Space Agency, and a very, very much needed credits for the mission. Okay, so as we've got the bonus, we've now got 3,188k, which is exactly what we just needed. And we've now got the research done, so we've now got everything ready to go for the launch of the crewed for the moon landing. But we do need to also launch the vehicle, so we need to go get the vehicle assembly building. So the vehicle assembly building, or VAB, is where vehicles are constructed and tested before embarking on missions. So we're getting minus 10% vehicle build time. Okay, and then we'll push straight from that one down here. But we do need to start getting our research high, because we're only getting 173 from the buildings and friendly from ESA at 2%. So we'll get a chunk of this done next month with the 1,327 left over. But we're getting some science missions done to be able to progress that quicker. So we've got another mission there, but it's not very good. It's challenging and quite low support and science. Okay, the control systems check looks good. On the moon, there is no quest mission at the minute. Like I say, we could start planning the crewed landing, which would give us quite a lot of research. That is something that we could do, or we could move across and potentially start doing some quest missions on the Mars, which, okay, that's got a lot of, the subsurface one's got a lot of support, but a little bit less science, where the sensor one has the 650 and 328,000. Okay, so decisions again. We could start planning the next milestone, but no one has the research done. So the fact that we should be able to maybe do another mission while we wait, because active missions, we've got 1 more month to go on the Mars flyby, and then Mars orbit, sorry, and then we'll have that one to plan, and that'll be available, and with 3 more months for the control systems check. But at the same point, we can't really do this one yet until we get the launch pad. So with that in mind, I believe if we go for the moon one, this will probably be 2 phases still, so it'll take a while to get out there to gain the additional science over 12 months. So I just really want a quick and easy science mission. Yeah, we definitely got anything over here, have we? No. So go back to Earth. I think we're going to do the control systems check, because it's 1 phase, it's done and dusted, and we can get it done and move on. So just go back. I want to... Oh, we already... Sorry, my bad. We already can do that one. I thought we had the other one available. So, what about the moon? Nope. Okay. Sorry about that different about, but I look like this is the only thing we can do. It's 2 phases, which is why I was kind of hesitant, because you've got to wait about a month or 2 in between, a couple months in between the distance from getting from Earth to Mars. So we'll see how that goes. So we may as well start planning this one. So to do it, yeah, we've got 2 stages. We need to enter Mars transfer orbit and then obtain scientific data. Don't think anything's really jumping out to be any different. So if we go back, so a standard one is 45%. and then 30, 30, and then prototype is at 30%. It is tempting to go for the prototype and then just do a load of training to achieve that extra to keep the cost down. Yep, let's do the prototype one, get that built, continue. Yep, let's say so research wise, yeah, we're going to do the vehicle assembly building. Active missions, we're waiting for the Mars orbit to complete next month to then set a date, and then we've got the control system 3 months behind it. Okay, we've got an exclamation mark. Is that Earth? Is it Earth or is it? I'm not sure what they are yet, so I'll check that later. Okay, anyway, so let's move on. Okay, there's a nice shiny rocket for the Mars orbit. Okay, that's nice to see. So the mission training bonus is increased by 100%, and the payload reliability's gone down, so we could get the payload as high as we can get it, which I think is what we're going to do. So let's set the payload and select a launch date. So we've got some good launch dates here. I'd say as it's a milestone mission, we haven't got to rush it because anything that's ready to go is the Soviets, and they've only researched it, they're not even planning it. So we could go all the way up to May and gain a massive bonus. So if we go back, yeah, I think that may be the best option. Could go April, could be a nice one though. Okay, we'll go for April. So max bonus is 24. So if we select that date, that takes the payload to 79%. Yeah, that's about 85. So it's a bit of a wait, but I think it's going to be worth the wait. So let's confirm. Okay. And okay, so we've got a review next month, and I think that's as far as it's going. So let's just go back to the milestones and just have a quick scan. So no one's jumping too far ahead on Earth, so we're okay with that front. Go to the moon. Again, no one's researched that, so we're happy with that bit. Okay, so Venus impact to the Soviets are pushing ahead with that, and the Chinese have researched it. And over here, the Mercury orbit. The Soviets are 6 months away from launch, and the Chinese are researched it, so they're pushed out that way. We're mainly going to be concerned with Mars anyway. So over here, the Chinese have got 1 more month to go, and they'll be launching. Then the NASA and ESA are close behind them. I say we're launching in 5 months' time, and the Soviets haven't even planned. They've researched but not planned it. And it doesn't look like anyone's jumping ahead too far. So, as I said, I don't want to fall behind on most key areas, so let's just move forward. Okay, budget review. Okay, we're just shy of getting that one, so next turn, next year maybe. Okay, we'll accept that. Okay, nothing to do, so move on. Okay, so the atmospheric sensor payload is complete. Only vehicle upper stage reliability counts towards the launch reliability. Okay, yeah, the payload is terrible, so we do need to make sure that we have a good upper stage. And the control systems check is ready to go. And assigning astronaut Maria Sadir will increase support machine training by 100%. Okay. Don't see why that won't be, because the PR office has noted that sign in. Okay, that's fine. We can do that. So the Mars orbit is, again, that's ready to go. So let's just sort out the sensor rocket. Yep, so I don't see the reason. So if we actually, let's just clear that design. Have we got anything that we can? Yeah, we could use the Delta Ks, but so we select that part and it does look nice though with the extra boosters on there. Okay, we don't need any, but so that's going to cost us. Can't use it because it's not the boost is not good enough. But if we put that on it, it does increase it. So it's 1.6 though. Okay, so that's 1.5. So if we use that one, it will cost us 1.5. But I've just did a load of the same design, haven't I? Nah, just let's not waste time. Let's load up design and go. We know it's good design, it's worked in the past, so let's get that done and built. Continue. And let's get, there's that one at Madeira Center. So it says here, yep. So if we'll assign that astronaut, can I confirm? We do need to get the payload up, so let's get the payload selected, and let's go to June just to ensure we got some good reliability. Yeah, so it's only 50% payload, so it's going to be quite difficult to get the mission done, but we should be okay. So let's just confirm the setup and go for launch. Okay, so getting close for the research, so move on. Okay, so the Soviets have launched a mission, so is that on here? No? Yes, sorry, it could be the Venus impactor, I'm assuming. So yeah, potentially complete in 3 months' time. So they've done a successful launch, so that's good. Okay, so yeah, missions are ready to go. We're just building the rocket, and these ones are just waiting for their dates. So let's skip to next month. Okay, so Master's completed phase 1 and ESA completed phase 1. Next month. Okay, so launch day for Mars orbit. Okay, pretty happy with the launch preparations. So let's launch the mission. Does it look like a nice day? Okay, another launch for the Kashgar, May 1967. Okay, so we've got good adequate conditions, so 4%, so we only got 3% critical. So let's go. Okay, well, it's up there. And, oh wow, 94%, very good. So we've got additional 10% payload reliability. Flawless descent. I'll happily accept that one. And we've now finally finished the Delta K level up. So that's good news as well. Okay, so the Mars orbit, phase 1 of 1967. Okay, continue. I do like the payload, looks pretty cool. Okay, to achieve this mission, or the objective, we need 6 navigation and 4 thrust. And then for the bonus, it's 12 navigation and 8 thrust. And we have comms, delta, and power as secondary. Okay, what are we going to do now? So we need to get a lot of navigation, so we can do power to navigation to start with. Just tempted to put some of that into comms and data, but we don't need them. We just need to get the thrust as well, which is going to be down here. Okay, so we could do that. Okay, so let's give that a shot. Hoping that's so we've only got 5% fair, so we should be looking pretty good at getting these successful most of the time. Brilliant. And we just say, yeah, we've got a decay. Yeah, we've got a decaying thrust, so this thrust will be reduced by 1 at the start of the next turn. Okay then, so we've got the thrust ready, and we're 3 shy of getting the navigation. So moving forward, we could start looking at getting. We need to recharge as well, just in case. But I'm tempted to use the comms and get a load of navigation. Yep. Okay, accept. I think we'll probably play it a little bit dangerous this time around, just because we have only got 5% failure rates, which is pretty good. Okay, so going forward, we do need to get some more comms, so we do need to get the thrust higher, so we need to get 8. So let's use that comms and navigation to get some data, and then use the navigation and data to get some thrust. And we then need to get, yeah, so I'm not sure if we're going to be able to get the bonus the way it's heading, but if we do recharge, to gain navigation, I need to use comms really. To get comms, I have to use navigation to get comms, so I need to do that, I think. So let's move forward with that. Don't see how we're going to get the bonus, but wow, got a fail. We'll accept it in a minute. I think we'll still achieve the mission. Okay, so we've achieved the mission. I just don't see how we're going to get 6 navigation and 2 thrust, because that means we have to do this. And then navigation's there. We then need to get an additional 3 more, so we need to do that again, and we haven't got the power. Or we can get comms. I haven't got enough. Okay, I don't see we're going to be able to achieve this now, so could use that. But again, we need navigation, which means we need comms again. Yeah, very close, but no cigar. So I'm just going to complete the task because I don't think we can do it. So let's complete the task. Still very successful. First part of the Mars orbit has been achieved, which is great news for the Japanese Space Agency. So let's continue. Right. Okay, active mission. So again, it's got 3 phases this one has. So if we've done phase 1, needs to do phase 2 for mid-course manoeuvring. That's in 4 months, and in 9 months' time we need to do the Martian orbit. Okay, so there's nothing really much we can do now because we're waiting for this one to be freed up to be able to get us another mission slot, and 4 months for the rocket to be ready. Research wise, we should be done next month, and then we can potentially build the vehicle one, but not sure. But let's move on. Yep, so vehicle assembly, building research is complete, and we've got the control systems check. Mission ready to go. Payload's not the best, but I'm sure we can live with it. Just get this one skipped. Okay, so we've got good conditions, so we've only got 4 critical, so let's continue. Yep, good launch. Yep, 51%. I'll have that. Continue. Okay, control systems check. Cool. Okay, so to achieve this, we need to get 4 comms, 6 navigation. We need 50% bonus. We need 8 comms and 12 navigation. We've got data and power and 1 crew member, a secondary. So I'll see what I can do, and I'll be back with you in a second. Okay, so we're back on the last term. It's been quite hard because the payload was like 50-50 pretty much, so we're not getting quite a lot of failures. So we've achieved the mission, which is the main thing, so I'm close to getting the objective, so we need to get some crew and navigation and comms to get the navigation, and then we just need to get 2 power. So if we recharge and charge again, we will get what we need, but it's not. We'll see how we go with success. So let's see. Okay, first one's very good. And the last one, oh, very nice. Actually did it. So yeah, the payload wasn't the best at all, but still very good, successful mission, and the astronaut should be safely back to Earth. which is always good and the main thing. Okay. Right, so mission successful. We gain the bonus of additional support and more research, which is good. And so the astronaut now will be recuperating for 6 months. Yep, so base-wise we can now build, where's it gone? The vehicle assembly building. But this just gives us build milestone on build time. I'm going to hold fire for the minute just because I believe we could do with the extra money ourselves. Research, we need to push on with the launch pad. So the large launch pad is a requirement to send the largest vehicles and heaviest payloads into space. That is going to take us a bit of time because it's 5,000 research and we are gaining 1,000 a tournament. So it could be five months, but I can't remember how long the mission will last. Will it tell me? Go up here and go to science. Okay, so yeah, science should hold out for a little bit longer. Okay, but that should mean we've now got a free mission slot. So Mars flyby will need another phase in 3 months, and the astrobaric sensors will be completed in 3. Okay, so Earth has quest mission of a spacewalk maneuvering unit. That's interesting. Good science and very good support. It's demanding. So demanding is the 4th level of mission difficulty. These missions will pose a serious challenge to most players and will most always involve special resources such as heat or drift, as well as multiple tasks or phases. So we have one phase only. Or free risk of casualties, yeah. Oh, too far. Okay, so our engineers have developed a rocket pack to allow crew to maneuver freely outside the capsule. This mission is set to test the pack's capabilities. Okay, so it's interesting. That does seem very interesting to do. It's dangerous because we could lose the crew. Doesn't tell me how many crew we need. So we've got achieve for the Earth orbit, conduct the EVA mission, and then perform re-entry. Or yeah, if we don't do it, we'll lose all the crew. So that's the potential. Over here we've got the lunar radiation, and on on Mars, yeah, we're planning the astro phonetic sensors, and with the subsurface penetrator is ready. We could plan that one. I'm tempted to do the. I'm going to do the spacewalk maneuvering unit. I think that looks pretty cool. So we'll get that planned. So it's going to take 2 crew members, which we do have. Obviously, we don't want to lose them, so we need to make sure we have the reliability, which is good. So I'm going to stick with a standard module, get that built, and then fingers crossed we should be able to do training to increase the payload to make sure it's as good as we can take it. Okay. Yeah, base we'll leave that for the minute. Research wise, we'll push on to the large pad, and we will have to get that built, otherwise we won't. That means we can then start looking doing the crewed moon landing. Like I say, we've got the suggested parts, so we are ready to go as and when the launch pad is close to when the launch pad is researched. When the next slot is available, which hopefully will be in about 3 months' time, well, 3+ months' time. We can then start planning to do the moon landing. So we'll move forward. Okay, so the Soviet Union have completed the Venus orbit. Okay, so the next mission phase is ready. Okay. And the atmospheric sensors is ready to go. They've got no effects. The engineers did a good job. Okay, training mission. Let's get the payload. Definitely needs training. That's 30%. That is bad, but experimental. This is for. Oh, this is the Mars mission, isn't it? So, oh my god. Everything's invalid. So we're gonna have to go. Okay, so it's gonna have to be miles away. So it's gonna be next January. Jesus, that is. Okay, but that's the next time we can do it, apart from July. But then we lose a window. Okay, well, we'll have to select that date. But it's only saying 15%. Okay, so the total max is only 50% anyway, so... Very strange. Yeah, so we could launch here, but it's only 66%. Yeah, I'm going to risk that because I do think it's going to be worth it, because I wait until... Well, so we're now September 67. That was launched in 68, in 69, so that's some miles away. Even July is a long time, so it's tempted to abort the mission, but we've already spent so much money on the rocket, it's saying we can't repurpose it. Anyway, we'll confirm that in 10 months' time and just fingers crossed it doesn't explode. Luckily, there's no crew, so it's not the end of the world. But let's continue with the Mars orbit, phase 2. Okay. So we now need the objective is 4 comms, 4 navigation, and 3 thrust, and the bonus objective is 8 comms, 8 navigation, and 6 thrust. We have data and power as our secondary power. So let's see where we can go. Okay, so we're going to have to spend power straight away, and we can turn that into, yeah, so thrust will reduce at 1 every turn. Okay, thrust is provided control, often decrease at the start of the turn. Again, if it's already at 0, I don't think it can go back, which is what one of my got commented in. Thank you for that. So be able to test that to the theory now. So we can do thrust, and we get pretty much most of it done in just one calculated thruster burn. It's the only way we can get burners thrust anyway. So let's just push forward. So let's try and get that into navigation. And don't want to get too much navigation because we can, I suppose we could use it here and get a lot of comms back. But let's use it and get... Do that. Can't remember what reliability... Oh yeah, got very good reliability, but it says that we only get a 1% chance there. But we can resist it for additional... We'll lose comms. We don't need it for the minute, so I'm going to accept it because I'd like to keep the power just in case. Yep, that's what I expected to see. Good success. And very good. Okay, so yep. Okay, so we don't need to worry too much about the thrust until the second to last mission to be able to gain the bonus. Okay, because otherwise we are going to start losing the thrust anyway, so there's no need to worry about that. So thank you very much for that comment. Okay, so we could turn a navigation and comms and navigation into data and navigation to some comms, and then we will need to use 2 of that to then get navigation, and yeah, then 3 of that. Then we've got navigation. We just need 1 more comms and then focus on the thrust. So confirm them. Okay, that was good. Good, and the last one is successful. So let's just clear that animation out of the way. Okay, so going forward now, we're going to have to get... Okay, we've got navigation, we need to get comms. Okay, so let's use 1 and 1, which is a shame, but we do need to do it to gain the thrust. And we now need to gain... Okay, so we can easily gain navigation there, so it's tempted to use... Do that, and then next turn we can gain the navigation back and the thrust. So confirm. Okay, good, brilliant, and successful. Okay, so we lost the thrust, so we're down to 4, but we've got the comms. Just need to get the navigation and thrust. So straight away we have to use the navigation to do that. And if we use 2, yep, so we use navigation and comms to get the thrust. We use 2 comms to get 5 navigation. So we'll have 9, 9, and 9. 9, 9, 9. Looks good. We've got 1 power in case, so let's use a recharge just to ensure we can get both the objectives done. Okay, just give the objective animation, so accept, and just in there. Brilliant. So phase 2 is successful. So far so good. And another successful 50% bonus war. So we're getting additional support and more research. Let's continue. Okay, so looking at the objectives on the Mars orbit. Okay, so 3 stages we've achieved. Phase 1 and phase 2. Just got to get to the phase 3 to achieve Mars orbit. Brilliant. Okay, and we're just waiting for payload to be complete and then the rocket. So let's move on. Okay, so the spacewalk maneuvering unit payload is complete. So vehicle parts gain 2 experience levels after launch, and we have minus 10% launch reliability. So it's 70%, so it's still good. That's the payload, sorry, for the 70%. So we'll get the rocket. We should be able to reuse the design. Okay, can we use anything else? Could do, but I don't want to waste any reliability for no purpose. And also the cost goes up. So we'll stick with the Karashar, and we can confirm that build and go for 7 months time, and then we'll set the date. Okay, then there's nothing more we can do because I believe everything's now waiting for. Okay, so does it tell me when? So 4 months to go for the next phase of the Mars orbit, and yeah, sorry, it says here as well. So phase, yeah, so we've got a checklist up here, which is quite nice to see. So we've got phase 1, phase 2, and then we've got to do the Martian orbit in 4 months' time. We've got 9 months to wait again because this atmospheric sensor one was terrible, but that's got 2 phases to go as well. But that's for Mars Request mission. But it was very, very bad conditions to launch, and 7 months to go for the rocket to be made for the moonwalks. Not moonwalks, the spacewalks. So looking here, we've got solar wind again, not very positive on the rewards. Lunar radiation. So we're still looking pretty good here for the crewed moon landing. No one's researched it yet, which is good news for us. Okay, so see our payload here to come in orbit, and the ESA are doing their flyby, I would have said. I hope so. Yep. Okay, so the orbit. Okay, so the Soviets and the Chinese have researched it, but they're not doing much with it, so that's good news for us. That's why I say I'm pretty happy that I made the decision to abandon, to a certain degree, the Mercury and the Venus, just because they can all chew their teeth on that one and we can forget about it. It's not essential. Good research, and that's as far as it really goes, but there's no point trying to all chase after the same bone. Okay, so optimization available. Your engineers have identified a way to optimize a key component in the Gemini payload for your upcoming spacewalk maneuvering unit mission. They estimate an increase of 10% to payload reliability, which is currently 70%, though the work will require additional funding. Okay, we have the funding, it's almost just 1 more month, and as this is going to increase the payload reliability, which means we can do the mission more successfully and also ensure that the astronauts will survive. Obviously, as long as we get them into space, so we'll pay the cost, because there's no higher cost. If we've got the funds, we may as well do it. Okay, so we're going to get 80% payload reliability now, and the research of the large launch pad is complete. Yeah, if we've got the funds, I don't see the reason not to pay to ensure the successful outcome of the mission. And we now need to select a new research. I think vehicle-wise and building-wise, we're okay at the minute, because, like I say, I don't think we're going to do the vehicle assembly building just yet, because it's the cost of building it and then we've got to maintain it, and it's just not worth it with the funds being as what they are. I believe what I'm going to now do is go onto the commercial satellite. So delivering a communications satellite into a precise Earth orbit will exemplify our agency's launch expertise. This will open the door to future commercial opportunities and see us playing a key role in Earth's bargaining, communication and network navigation technology. And then we'll get ComSat, which is the payload. Yep, okay, we could, by all means, we could come back up here, but I don't see any reason to do that, so we'll hold fire. Okay. So we've got 1 month to go for the review and then 2 months to go for the next phase mission. So we'll have a quick look at the building of the launch pad because it will take build times a year, so we do need to get on this one as soon as possible. So I don't see we're going to be able to get any, not going to get any bonuses, so let's just make sure that we can get a decent, relatively cheap place to build it. So I think that's going to be the best option there. Unless we can, oh, we could build out here. That does look pretty nice, and we get a bonus of, yeah, but we're going to lose a lot of money from doing this, so it's 1.9. How much is it normally? 1.2. So yeah, for the vehicle build cost, and it does, to be fair, it looks pretty awesome in that corner. But I think cost-wise, it's going to have to go over here. So put it there. It's near all 3 launches. All 3 rocket launches are in the similar position, so it's good. But that will take a year to build. So let's move on to hopefully get some more funding. Okay, so we've got additional funding, so we're now getting 357,000 per month, which every little does help. Okay, research-wise, it's slowly building up, and that's about it. So let's move on to the final stage of the Mars orbit. Okay, so let's select it and continue the mission. Very nice. Okay. So Mars orbit, February 1968, phase 3. Okay, so to complete this mission we need 4 comms, 4 data, 4 navigation, and to get the bonus we need 8 comms, 8 data and 8 navigation. So what can we do? So the payload's pretty good, so we should be able to be quite successful here. So I might turn navigation into packet transfer, so use 3 navigation to get 4 comms and 2 navigation, and then turn 3 of the comms into 6. Yeah, why not? We'll do that. Okay, so very successful. So I hope people don't mind me skipping animation, just it saves a bit of time and they are quite slow. So if you've got any concerns, please comment below and I can always change if needs be. Okay, so from that very first turn we've achieved the navigation and the data. Okay, we've almost got the navigation for the bonus. So see what we can do now. So we could use some power and comms and then turn that back into 4 comms. So 6 navigation to get 4 comms and 2 data. Okay, so we've then achieved the navigation, which is the good thing. We just now need to turn a data and navigation into additional comms. Yep, I think that should do it. Then all we've got to do is work on our comms. So let's confirm that. Very successful, 86%. 20% still good. And 24%. Very nice. Like I say, this payload has been very good. 95% reliability is very, very good. Okay, so straight away we've now got our comms. The comms for the data for the bonus and navigation for the bonus. So let's just focus on getting our comms built up. Okay, so we could just use power. Power will get us that. We could use. Yeah, we could just use power and a recharge, and we'll get it done next month, next term. Okay, we'll confirm that. Okay, 72% is good. And a 67, brilliant. And Japanese Space Agency has now achieved a Mars orbit. Okay, so yep, Mars orbit successful. We were first, and we gained the reap the rewards of that mission. Okay, so go to Mars and milestones. We have now achieved both the first 2 Era 2 human space exploration for Mars flyby and Mars orbit, and we were first. And to be fair, I think the flyby, we were very, very close to behind the Soviets, very, very, I think it was a month behind us. But on this one, no one's even close. So I think that's a very, very successful achievement for the Japanese Space Agency. But on that note, thank you very much for watching episode 9 of my Japan's Let's Play. If you like this video, please like and subscribe if you haven't already. And I will see you in the next episode of Mars Horizon.